That's right.
And I think now I'm going to be leaving you alone so you can have a little bit of fun about the bear education, all the programs that we've got.
Yeah, what we've got going on site, and
talk about the Cub Room.
And kind of some of the things we see here as we're volunteers and we're interns. I'm going to talk a little bit about
it. Alrighty, I'm going to leave you go. And you guys, I'll see you at 5 o'clock. And we will be excited to talk to you at the 5 o'clock hour, right?
Yep, and if something happens while I'm talking, you're going to run. You'll break in, won't you?
You think?
I hope so.
All righty, thank you.
All right, all right. Well, I thank you, Scott. And as I said, it is fun coming up here. I do look forward to it. It's about the third Thursday in November, and it's really worth the trip because I see what happens when kids, families go into this Cub Room, and the kids are excited, and then we make an announcement there's going to be a behind-the-scenes tour. And then they're running to the window, and then they may see one of our bears there. But more than that, then they go out back, and they're only a few feet away from our bears, and their eyes are popping, and they ask questions, and they come back in here, and then they're running into the Cub Room again. But, we have had more attendance, and that's what we want here at the Bear Center. We want more attendance. We want people to come in the door. We know not everybody can get here. We know that, but we're a seasonal business, actually. I mean, the bears are hibernating right now, and that's a good thing for bears. Hibernation is a natural thing for bears. So, of course, we're doing these kind of things, and we're upgrading the Cub Room and everything else we've already talked about. But let's talk about when it's busy here. May, June, July, August, September, October. Those are busy months. And pretty much July and August are probably our biggest months, but some of the other months are pretty hefty as well. And through the years, as we've gotten to have more and more visitors and groups, and we want more groups and we want more visitors, it takes seasonal help to do that. We've got a great group of bear educator volunteers, and they come from all over the world and volunteer their time to help make this the great place it is. And we ask them for just a one-year commitment. They don't have to commit for the rest of their lives to be a volunteer here at the Bear Center. It's a one-year commitment for 80 hours. And you can do that in 2 weeks, or 1 week, 2 one-weekers, or number of long weekends, however they want to do it. And it's pretty easy, it's pretty simple, and they have added a tremendous amount to us here at the Bear Center. But we've grown to the point now where we need even more help. And that's where the intern program came about, because there's a couple things with that. We want to educate not only the people that come here, our visitors, whether they're young or old, but we also want to educate the young people in college that want to go into biology, animal behavior, wildlife management, environmental sciences, captive management, those types of things. We want to educate those people too. And we want to give them an idea of what it is like to really work at a place like this. And so in doing so, they have exposure to Dr. Rogers, his philosophy about black bears and what he has learned through 50 years. So they have an opportunity to chat with him and learn many of the things it's taken him 50 years to learn. And they also know if this is really what they want to do. And integrating them with our volunteers who've come from various walks of life. This year it was really awesome. A couple of the interns said, this is really a fun place to work. I get to work with bears, critters, and they get to meet volunteers from all over the world. And interesting conversations come out of that. So this year, or this last year, we had 6 interns in the summer, and we had 2 in the fall. That's the first year that we've had 2 in the fall. And I want to give you some numbers. I kind of like numbers, because numbers tell a story as well. Now, we had more visitors this year than 2016, and we still rank number 1 on TripAdvisor. So we held that #1 spot. And of course, we want to hold it again. We want to stay #1. But I want to talk a little bit about what this additional help with the Bear Educator volunteers and our Bear Educator interns have done for us. So here's some numbers. In 2016, no, that was last year. That was last year. Between the volunteers and the interns combined, 4,400 hours, 4,400, actually 4,414 hours. 4,400 hours combining those two on-site programs. Now I'm going to talk about some off-site folks too, but 4,414. So hang on to that number. Now that was in 2016. And we talked at the end of the season. I talked to Scott and I said, you know, there were a couple spots I felt we kind of struggled a little bit. And we did well, but I think we could have done better. And he said, yep, let's add some fall interns. We had a few little struggles there. Let's go for it. 2017, here we are. We finished 2017. 5,659 hours. That's a lot. It's about 1,200, almost 1,300 more hours that we utilized with those two programs alone to support being #1 on TripAdvisor and giving people a fabulous experience, a fun experience, but from my point of view, an educational experience as well. So both of those programs in 2017, both of them, the volunteer program gave us 400 more hours in 2017. That means we had more volunteers here than we did the year before. And of course, the intern program, we had more hours as well, but we added 2 interns in the fall as well. So now, we had a little debriefing this fall, and I saw interns both this year and last year in here. A couple of the interns come to mind. They were sitting there playing with the stuffed animals. They were helping measure how tall am I. And I saw, and I encourage this, I saw both interns and volunteers. Hey, would you like me to take a family picture right here in the cub room? Talking, well, what's it really like in a real den? And we hope to have a real life-size looking den in there next year. And then, of course, Critter Time, and I think Scott mentioned this on one of the other programs earlier today. We started Critter Time a couple years ago, not really knowing where that would take us. But between our turtles, who are very cooperative, by the way, frogs, snakes, and of course the fish in that huge aquarium, which is almost 700 gallons, those programs down in the Ecology Hall have been a real winner. And you probably already know, if you've read the updates and see some of the pictures and things we do here, we also got the monarch butterfly. That has been also a huge hit. Every one of these programs requires people. And when we advertise you're going to see bears, we guarantee you're going to see bears. And that's where our behind-the-scenes program has been every hour, on the hour of every day. That requires dedicated resources, and that's what our on-site help has helped us with. And if it's not the behind-the-scenes, then we're trying to do a Critter Time. And Critter Time, I have learned, is not just for kids. I've seen the parents go down there, and they kind of stand back a little bit because they're letting the kids up front. But as I look at the parents or grandparents, they're listening. And those programs aren't that long, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. The turtles, the kids get to feed the turtles. The kids get to feed the frogs. And it's so amazing to see some of these kids who don't get out in the woods. They don't have an opportunity to learn those things, and their eyes are big, and they can't get close enough to the terrarium. And that kind of excitement is where we want to go with the cub room. making it real, making it look like you're right in the woods of Ely, and having a variety of things for kids to do, different sensory opportunities for them in the cub room, is really where we want to head. So Sharon and I kind of work pretty much in tandem, and I want to give a shout out to Sharon. Hope you're watching, and if you're not, Sharon's my buddy, help run these two programs, because we see this is really having young people and volunteers that are really committed to the mission really creates an atmosphere here at the Bear Center that, I'm going to say I'm biased, but I don't see it anywhere else. When people walk in here, they say, this place is exciting. People seem passionate. People are genuine. People feel comfortable here. And that means a lot about a learning environment for kids and adults alike. So I'm going to go over those numbers one more time because, of course, we got 2018 coming. And if you haven't figured it out by some of the things we've said about the Cub Room, and we're spending a lot of time on the Cub Room, we want to do more programs. We want to have more things. We want to be able to handle more visitors. And think of it in 2016, round it out to 4,400 hours. This last year, 5,660. And next year, we're going to add one more intern in the fall. So in 2018, I'm looking for more volunteers. Yes, I am. I'm looking for more volunteers. And we will train you. Don't worry about that. We will train you. And I'm looking for interns, both. 6 in the summer and now 3 in the fall time. And we wouldn't be adding this if we didn't see the need, and there's a need there. So with that, and if any of you, in fact, I have gotten past volunteers, past interns from people who watch on tonight, Give Men Show programs. I have gotten references, and I've gotten directed to somebody that might be interested. Send them my way. Most of you know my email address, judythone@bear.org. All you have to do is give me their contact information, and I'll make the contact. I'd be happy to answer any of their questions. They can even come here and check us out if they have to think about whether they want to do this or not. Interns, the application process is open right now for all intern summer and fall for next year. And I have to tell you, management here, Scott's made a really phenomenal change in the program, and I got to give him credit. This is really helps me sell the program. We're going to pay for the housing, and they're getting a little bit more of a stipend, and we're getting really competitive because we compete with all kinds of other internship programs. And my goal is we're going to have the place for people to learn about black bears right here. So I want to be more than just a line on a resume. I want these young people to walk out of here feeling confident that they know the true nature of black bears. And all that will translate into what we want to do here in the Cub Room, because these young kids, 10 and under, or even the ones that are a little bit older, they come in here, they have a good time. I know that they're going to say to Mom and Dad, I want to go back to the Bear Center. And they're going to see some of the videos, and they're going to go to a critter time. They're going to have a good time, and they're going to remember this place. And that's the best recommendation we could ever get, is kids and people who have been here talk us up. Go to their friends, wherever they are, and say, you have to go to the Bear Center. If you're near Ely, go there, because they got a fabulous facility. So it's what we're looking at is a long-term. We want to help young people that want to get into this industry. We want to set them on the right foot. about what it's like, give them an opportunity to see 50 years worth of research here, solidified down in basically 2 buildings, here the Bear Center and of course our wonderful ecology hall as well, and work with a fabulous staff that when they leave here, they're basically managing under supervision. It's always under supervision, certainly under Sharon, our great curator, under her supervision. They're managing the bear care. And we kind of work with that, say, okay, now if you were here and you didn't have us here, what would you do? So they got to think. And that's important for their career, that they have that kind of hands-on experience. So with that all said, you know, some of the interest in wildlife, being outdoors, starts right here in the Cub Room. When they have great experiences outdoors and learn that they don't have to be afraid to sleep out in a little pup tent in the boundary waters, that they don't have to worry about a bear is going to eat them, they can enjoy the outdoors. And I think Petey said it really well at 3 o'clock. You know, you get them young, they're not afraid. And then it's exciting for them. And when they have fun learning, they want more. And that's the kind of environment we want to create. So I wanted to give you all an idea of where we're headed. I am very, very committed to making this the program. If you want to learn about bears, you better come here, because we're going to teach you the truth. And they're going to have many, many years to come into contact with other people to spread the word about the truth about black bears. So, you know, that's really what this whole thermometer is all about. It's about a long-term vision. It's not just about the Cub Room, but it's about where do we want to be in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and how do we want to help other people really believe, like we do, what a black bear is all about. So the next one is 5 o'clock. Now it's about 4:20 or so, about 4:22. At 5 o'clock, I haven't really got any questions. Either we're doing a fabulous job at answering your questions before you ask. But we're going to be here at 5 o'clock. And if you got a question, send it to me, Judy Thone at bear.org. I'll catch it before 5 o'clock, and we'll do our best to answer it. But we're going to be here anyhow. Even if you don't give me a question, we're going to be here at 5 o'clock, because I really want to be able to tell Scott he's got to move this. I don't like that 70 sitting there anymore. I want to hide that 70, and I want to be up here somewhere. And it can happen. It can happen, and of course, so we'll be there at 5 o'clock. Now at 6 o'clock, for those of you, if it's dinner time or whatever, we're going to take 6 o'clock hour, we're going to take off. I mean, we're not going to be here. We're not going to have a program. But then at 7 o'clock, you want to tune in at 7 o'clock. Dr. Rogers and his lovely wife Donna are going to be here, and I don't think you're going to want to miss that. And, you know, wouldn't it be nice if we could tell them we're way up here? Wouldn't it be nice if we could tell them, hey, we're up here. We haven't got far to go. And Scott and I are both very encouraged with your generosity, and keep those donations coming. We'll see you at 5 o'clock. Until then, enjoy our video and tell your friends about us. Thank you very much.